Traveling out of Durin's way, you transition into Zelem-Malek zone, and entering the 21st Hall. In times long past, a great market stood here, where the dwarfs of Moria and travelers from abroad would trade in goods from across much of Middle-earth. Fine wood, fine wine, and foodstuffs would be exchanged for gold, priceless gems, and finely wrought pieces of smithcraft. Anything at all could be bought and sold within this very hall, though it is hard to imagine to look upon it now. Traveling north from the 21st Hall and into a corridor and opening the door, you find the Chamber of Mazarbul. It is likely that the Chamber of Mazarbul once served some great purpose in the old days of Moria, yet now it is left the tomb of Balin, son of Fundin, and friend to the old Bilbo, who not so many years ago led an expedition much like the current one to retake Moria and to restore it to the glories of old. Alas, that his efforts came to ruin so final that none ever returned to their homes to tell of it, and only now has the truth been learned. Traveling in the center of Zelem-Malek, you find the Great Hall of Durin. Within this grand hall stood the throne of Durin the Deathless, first and greatest father of the dwarfs. Though Durin the First lived a lifespan far beyond any other, he did in time pass away, but always another took up his name, and he ruled on as Durin. The dwarfs claim that these rulers are each Durin himself, returned to them from the stone in time, and again to sit on the throne of Moria and watch over them, until at last he fell before the power of Durin's bane, leaving the throne empty, perhaps forever. Traveling northwest of the Great Hall of Durin, you find Mudmul-Charaf. Founded as the dwarfs expanded east from the halls of the old Moria to the west, the terraces of Mudmul-Charaf once housed many of the fine dwarfs craftsmen, rather at least among those wealthy enough to live but a few halls from the very throne of Durin himself. Heading south in the zone of Zelem-Malek, you find the Hall of Flowing Water. Water has ever been an important aspect of dwarf artistry. Of hidden rivers and lakes are among the most vital features of any settlement beneath the hills and mountains. The Hall of Flowing Water is a fine example of this artistry, and it has remained surprisingly intact after so many years, unattended. Not far from the Hall of Flowing Water, you find Gabil-Mamach. The original purpose of this chamber of Gabil-Mamach cannot be found in any of the old texts or histories of Moria. The simple span that crosses this room does not seem to serve any vital purpose, and the wise might argue whether it is symbolic of nature or whether something more important was once conducted in the space below. Traveling south in Zelem-Malek, you find Gabil-Hul. Here at Gabil-Hul once stood a dam constructed to capture the waters that flow through this area and supply water to the dwarfs inhabiting Zelem-Malek. Now it lies in shattered ruins among the stagnant puddles. Traveling in the south of Zelem-Malek, you find Uzbad-Bakan. The shattered plaza of Uzbad-Bakan likely hosted the shops of dwarf merchants. Once and long ago, now it lies mostly silent. and strewn with rubble broken only by the occasional echoing snarl of an orc.